Bonjour, welcome to Le Mans. It's round 2 of MotoE and we have a first time winner leading the Enel MotoE World Cup. I'm joined by Fran Wyld, your MotoE pit lane reporter, to keep things nice and fresh. It's going to be really interesting to get her take on that opening round in Jerez. Fran, let's dive absolutely in because I just wanted to get your opinion on what a delight it was to see Alessandro Zaccone take that first win of the season and almost put some demons to rest in Jerez.
Yeah, I think it was really great to see. A little bit of a surprise given what we'd seen in pre-season testing. Certainly not a surprise to see him on the podium because we've seen big steps forward kind of gradually coming. But I think to win the race, especially with Dominic Egerter behind him, and Dominic didn't have any drama and he'd had such strong pace in pre-season. I think, yeah, it was great to see though another name on top of the box and a new points leader as well as we head into round 2.
Well, we're talking about Alessandro Zaccone. We actually do have the man himself just behind the camera, and he's going to come and join us for a chat about that opening race. Alessandro, if you'd like to come and place yourself in the middle between Fran and I, the rose between two thorns, as we say in the UK. Have you got that phrase in Italy?
Yeah.
Alessandro, firstly, congratulations. What a great start to 2021. I said to Fran, it must have felt like you were putting some demons to bed because of what happened there the year before. How proud were you of that first result?
Yeah, I changed the team this year and I feel very, very good and very strong from the first test. We work very well during the test and we was fast, much faster than last year. So I think that we put all the part of the work in the good way.
Yeah.
And this is the best way to start the season. Also is a surprise this win, because we know that we was fast, but not for the win, maybe for the podium.
Yeah.
But we do that, and so this is great.
Great stuff.
So what do you think's made the biggest difference coming into this year? Obviously you were injured last year as well, which complicated things, but you've changed teams, we've got slightly different tyres, front fork. Is it just the combination of everything coming together for you?
Yeah, for sure this year the bike is better with the front fork, with the new tyre, is much easy, is much similar at what normal bike, you know. But also the new team put me in a great way. They tell me a lot of things to try, and I think all this part make the job.
This weekend here in Le Mans, we had a race of two races of two halves last year, one wet, one dry. The forecast for this weekend, predictable as it may, we think we're in for some wet weather. How are you feeling about this weekend's race?
Yeah, for sure will be more difficult than Jerez, because I don't know very well the track,
Okay.
and also with this strange condition will be hard. I tried just last year the bike on the wet, so we start from zero more or less, and we have to try to stay, I think, in the front group also in here.
So has that first win then changed your approach a little bit coming here? Because like there are a few guys who have incredible experience of Le Mans. Your new teammate, in fact, has been on the podium 24-hour race here as well. Those guys were really strong last year with such experience of the venue. Now you've got that win, do you think, okay, consistency really is key. I've already got a win, now I'm going to go for 5th, 6th, 4th. Or are you still pushing for podium and the win?
I don't have one special target for this race. I know that my team last year did a good job with the podium, and I think now I start to check all the data for understand the secret of this track. But I don't know. For sure, I try to stay in the podium also here. But the most important thing is try to take more points as possible. This is the most important.
All the best for this weekend.
Thank you.
We hope this is not the last time we speak to you. I'm sure Fran won't be. You can, if you want to, give your microphone to one of our camera guys. But it was a pleasure to talk to you. Great job.
Thank you very much.
Best of luck for this
Thank
weekend.
you.
In bocca
Bye.
al lupo.
Crepi, grazie.
Fran, Alessandro obviously took the lead with 5 laps to go, and that was after a bit of a a big mistake from Eric Gennaro. Not the first time we've seen him make a mistake. It still looks as though there's a few creases in his game to iron out.
I think he'll definitely be an interesting rider this weekend because Jerez, we've always seen him be either the fastest or very close to it. So I think it's almost more temptation to show that speed immediately. We saw he took an incredible E-pole on Saturday and then he was in the lead when he then crashed out. Maybe it is reverting to a little bit of character that we saw over the last couple of seasons, but it also coming here, I think there's a chance maybe knowing he's not meant to be the guy in the lead, maybe we'll see him find it a little bit easier to just ride within himself, and the pressure is on now with a short season in MotoE to take those points and just keep them rolling in, I think, weekend by weekend.
Well, he wasn't the only guy to crash out. There were a number of crashes in that race.
There were also fast rookie FIM Enel. He'll be an interesting one. He crashed out with Lucas Tulovic. We've seen Lucas have some good speed already. He's not a rookie, obviously. But Fermin, I think, will be interesting as well. He comes off the back of a few wins now in his other career in the Moto2 European Championship. So his confidence certainly really high in general. But we've not seen him get to the flag in MotoE yet, and it'll be interesting how he manages those last couple of laps if he manages to get to them and there's a bit better luck this time around.
Well, it was really Fermin and Lucas crashing out that allowed our podium men to kind of take off in the group of three, and nothing really stopped them. They didn't really look back after that. I just wanted to have your opinion because you were chatting to both Domi Aegerter and also Jordi Torres, our other two podium men in Part Ferme, and they both seem to have a similar approach to that race in terms of, like we saw last year in MotoE, you can't win it all in the first race. Actually taking a bit more of a measured and a mindful approach is the best approach, and actually it still got them on the podium.
It did, yeah. I think it can be a difficult gamble in MotoE because you don't have a long race, so you have to make a good start. Maybe you don't have to take the whole shot, you know, it's not everything on the line immediately, but you do have to make a good start. You do have to make your presence known quite quickly because you don't have time to make up a gap if you end up with one. But on the other side of the coin, there can be such drama so quickly, like we saw with that Tulovic-Aldeguer crash. So I think a good mixture of those two approaches, and also experience, of course, for Aegerter and Torres. Those guys, they're super, super experienced, not just now in MotoE, having already been in the class last year, but also on so many different types of machinery in different championships. I think they find it maybe a little bit easier to balance that. But I think it's going to be an interesting one this weekend because, like we saw last year here, lots of drama at the chicane in Le Mans. Lots of races kind of immediately down the pan. So we'll have to see if this time around those guys can just have a little bit less drama immediately and then see where the cards shuffle.
Well, as we mentioned at the top, it was pretty much a race of two halves last year. We had two races because we were catching back up on ourselves. One was wet, one was dry. Nicky Tully won the wet race and Jordi Torres won the dry one. Who are you tipping for this weekend, Fran?
I'm honestly not sure because the guys who were on the podium and so quick here last year, they're now not really here. Like obviously Torres is, and he's in a very different position to where he was arriving last year with a chance to win that cup, really sealed the deal here in France. It's going to be a difficult one to call, I think, especially with the mixed conditions. Like we had races in two different conditions last year, but we also had pretty much different weather every single time they went out on track. So the guys like Mike de Meglio last year, who had such incredible experience here in the 24-hour race and in endurance, it's obviously something you can just fall back on, and you know the track itself so well that at least then you're just looking at the conditions, your rivals, your own race. I really don't know. I think Dominic Aegerter looks like he might be the strongest overall package so far, so I certainly wouldn't be surprised to see him. But the likes of Johnny Hernandez, if he can make a step forward now he really knows this track, who knows, we might have a bit of a shuffle at the front.
We shall see. You do not have long to wait. You can join Fran, Neil Morrison and Matt Dunn on Saturday at 4 o'clock local time for E-Pole. And then our MotoE race will happen again on Sunday at 10 o'clock. But from myself and Fran Wyld, it's goodbye for now.